What's up, fam? I am D, and you are at Divination with D. Uh, I'll probably put this on my other channel, but I'm doing a follow up to what that situation earlier today that I was talking about when I was driving to work. Oh my gosh, when I tell you, okay, so I spoke on what did I speak on? I talked to the guy, and my main question was because we were trying to figure out a time when we could meet up, right? And I told him that a certain situation at that day that we were going to try to meet up was preventing me from being able to. Um, and after that, I didn't hear anything else from him. That was Saturday. It's Friday. It's been a whole week. And what I did, I texted him last night asking a question about what was going on because honestly, I was really just trying to be polite and let things go because I just kind of feel like I enjoyed the conversations that I would have with him. When we would have conversations, they weren't bad. However, from the very beginning of being with him or just talking to him, because some of the things that he was initially saying, like constantly questioning me and asking me, well, why me? Why me? Why are you interested in me? And I'm like, nigga, outside of just initially seeing you, I don't know, because that's what I'm trying to talk to you and get to know you to figure out something beyond the initial attraction that you normally feel for somebody when you see them, right? He sounded so, everything was, oh, you're so beautiful and this and that. And I'm just like, okay, like, let's kind of calm down on that. Oh, have I told you? And not to say that it's not nice to hear, but girls, y'all know when y'all hear it from somebody that feels so fucking enamored by you that they then kind of refuse to see you. Oh my gosh, I feel like my words aren't even really saying what I want to say and what I feel. I don't want to feel like someone is so like starstruck or whatever. Like, you know how you would get if you met somebody that's like you're such a fan. I don't want anyone to act like they're my fucking fan. Treat me like a person. So this is kind of like how he was, and then being like, well, I don't know, do you still, and this is before we even had our first date, do you still feel like you have the same kind of feelings for me and attraction like, before when we first met, when you saw me in the club? And he just kept asking this over and over, and I'm just like, listen, dude, I don't have it within me to continue to pour into your cup and overcompensate for what you need to give yourself. That's not what I'm here for. And you really sound like you lack a lot of confidence in yourself. Like, why wouldn't somebody want to be with you? Why wouldn't somebody choose you? Like, I know I'm not the best looking person, but when I go out, I'm the baddest bitch in the room. That's just how I feel. I have good energy about myself, and if you don't want me, then you're not for me. You know what I'm saying? So, because I had already been on his shit from the very beginning, now we're going into this whole thing of, and again, I just need y'all to see this in terms of his level of confidence. When you really like somebody and you after them, I know how that feels, and niggas be persistent. Hell, I've been persistent. You know what I'm saying? But this time has gone by. I was the last one that texted, and I'm not hearing anything from this individual, and I'm going to get to the point of what I need to talk about when it comes to what I really want to say. Just go with it. So when we're talking, and I brought up the whole thing of, I don't understand why it's taking you so long, to hit me up. There was a text that I had sent him, and because of the first night when we seen each other, we kind of circled back around. We seen each other, met up, and we was just like sitting in my car, and we ended up kissing. When we actually went on a date, we went to dinner. We ended up going to his house, and I told him I really didn't want to go to his house, but there was really nothing else to do or anywhere else to really go after we ate, because it was kind of late, and I was like, I really don't want to do this. I said, but I'll stay for a little bit. And I gave him a time frame, and so I kept checking. I was like, I'm not going to stay any longer than 10 o'clock. I gave it an hour. And so while we're there, we're sitting in his living room. Like, he showed me around his house. We're sitting watching TV, and he's trying to like pull me over to like lay on him to cuddle up. And then he starts to kind of go over like this, because he was like, you haven't kissed me today, or you haven't given me a kiss. And I'm just like chill. You know what I'm saying? And at that moment, a girlfriend of mine called from Florida. So I was like, girl, I'll talk to you like after I leave. So then he's like trying to come back and do it again. And I was just like, it's cool, but like, that's not what I want to do right now. Like, I just want to chill with you. And I said, I plan on at least giving you a hug and a kiss before I go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you so ready to rush into being all on me and everything. This is not what I want. Like, and you can feel somebody's energy of how they are when they're really feeling that way for you. You know what I'm saying? And all right, let me just get to the goddamn point. It was something that I sent in the text to him, and I was like, look, beyond me feeling like I didn't really think that you was going to hit me back up, which is why I was trying to be polite, and I sent a text to see where things were at with you, and to really just be like, we're going to talk or not, because if not, I'll delete your number. Because it's been a whole week, and I was the last one that texted, and you didn't respond to it, so I don't really know what's on your mind. And he tells me that he was going to hit me up eventually. But when I sent a text to him, he said that when he called after I got home, he said, do you have time to talk? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, I was going back over the text that you sent, and I was just thinking, he's like, and I just really felt like I needed to say this. Now, the reason why I told y'all about how I was getting on him about his confidence and stuff like that, I needed to say that so you understand where I'm coming from. He said, because I sent in a text that I did not want him to feel that I said I felt uncomfortable about chilling at his house, because he kept saying, oh, we can just hang at my house, and we can, you can come into my house and we can spend time in my house. This is something that repeatedly he was saying. Even though on the phone he's like, well, I only mentioned it twice. No, you didn't. You said it more than that prior, okay? Before I even like really, really knew you, even before we even went on a damn date. You were saying I could come over to your house and we could chill over there, and whenever I wanted to just, get away, I could come over there. Nigga, I don't know you like that though. So, I said, I understand how things were when we were in my car and we kissed. the first night. But I said, I apologize for that because I don't want to be misleading and have you feel that that's the thing that I am always going to want if I were to come over to your place. I said, and that's what I don't feel comfortable with. I don't feel comfortable with going over your place because I feel like you're already going to be thinking that when I get there, this is what it's going to be, that we're going to be hugging and kissing and cuddling up. And I don't want to give that impression. I said, and if I gave that impression when we were in the car kissing the first night, forgive me. I said, but I was drinking. I had some drinks because we had went out. He don't drink. So, I apologize for that. And I was like, forgive me for being misleading if that's what you felt. I said, but even after that, when we got to his place, in no kind of way did I give the indication that I wanted to be kissing and hugging up on this guy. Like, I was just acting normal. I wasn't holding him and touching him and doing all kind. I was not touchy-feely with him at all. I was like, let's just sit and chill. And even when I was sitting on one side, he pulls me over to him. And I'm just like, yeah, this does not make me feel comfortable. But this is the reason why also I really didn't want to go to his house after we had dinner. So when he brings this up on the phone, he's like, well, I just needed to say that, I hope, he's like, because I know you said that you don't really feel comfortable being at my place, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I wasn't thinking that way. Like, I don't want you to think that every time you come to my place or whatever, that this is what I was going to be expecting. And I said, in no way did I put anything on you. I stated that what I wanted you to understand what my intentions were. It didn't have anything to do with you. I wasn't saying, oh, every time I come over there, he's going to be expecting me. No, I was saying that every time I come over there, I wanted you to be clear about my intentions, that I'm just coming over to chill. That's it. I don't want you thinking that every time I come over that I'm the one that's going to be thinking about sex and thinking about cuddling up and everything. But now you're trying to switch it and make it seem as though I'm thinking that that's what you're going to be assuming is going to happen. If y'all get what I'm saying. Because I know that in saying it, it can kind of sound like I'm thinking that he's going to be that way to me. But I was trying to explain that I didn't want him to think that that's how I was going to be towards him. I said, I'm not going to want to be hugging up on you, kissing and cuddling. I want to just chill. I said, so he kind of took it the other way around, that I was suggesting that this is what I think is going to be always on his mind. And I said, no, I was trying to say that I was hoping that you don't think that that's what's going to be on my mind because of the way that things were the first night in the car and how we kissed. I don't want you to think that just because I was leading with that that's how I am and that's how everything is going to be. I said, because it's not. I want to get to know you. I said, and hanging at your house to me gives the wrong perception, because unless you're really my guy, I don't feel comfortable with just coming over and hanging like that, because those kind of things tend to take place and you're not my man, and I don't want you to start getting comfortable with me like that. I don't certainly want to get comfortable with you like that. And unless you actually know that my intentions are to just come over and hang out, I'd rather not do that, because I don't want you thinking in the back of your mind that this is probably what she wants. And it's not, or you get disappointed if nothing happens because I didn't pursue it. And when I tried to say something to him about not putting the blame on him, but, putting it on me, his whole thing was, yeah, but even still, by the way that you was in the car. And I said, okay, I understand that, but I apologize. And also, it really pissed me off, because I feel like when he was saying it, it was really more of a get back to try to point the finger at me and try to make me feel some type of way. My moonstone, I wore this today, and when I tell you I feel like this thing caused all my emotions to be amplified. Then I had my hematite ring on. That grounded me. So y'all know I've been talking about these goddamn crystals, and I still didn't really express everything the way that I wanted to. But the way that we had the conversation and what he was saying frustrated me so much with everything that he was saying, in the way that he was trying to turn it back around and make an excuse for what happened. I just felt like he was being petty as fuck, because he literally was like, well, I went back and I was reading the text and I just felt like I needed to say this. Nigga, why? Because I got on you earlier and I mentioned that I don't think you ever would have reached back out to me or text me if I didn't say something to you, and it's been a whole week and you didn't really have a real response from me when I asked you why did it take you so long to reach out to me, and if I didn't reach out to you, would you have reached out to me? And he actually said, oh, maybe sometime eventually. You's a bitch ass. You really is a bitch ass, because you don't really know how to have enough confidence in yourself, even when you feel like somebody's fucking shooting you down, to just stand up and have some motherfucking balls and say something. But now all of a sudden that I'm reaching out to you and I'm texting you, you try to find some kind of way to have fault with me and say something to kind of, prove yourself, whatever. And I just wanted to let you know that, all right, nigga, fine. But I don't need you to continually go over this over and over again. It just made me feel like this is how he is. He's petty. And your moon rings deal with your emotions and your feelings, and it amplified what I felt. It was actually intensifying, I'll say, what I was feeling already, and showing me this really is not where I want to be, because it started to make me feel so fucking frustrated, more so than what I know I normally would have been. But the hematite grounded me to make me feel like, okay, this is what we're not going to do, because I had a great day today, and I understand that when I wear these rings, and I basically was wearing this because I was really happy and wanted to feel extra happy and just in a really, really good mood, because it was my first day going to work. But dealing with that shit, it's like it enhanced what I was feeling, and it's like, goddamn, everything that I was feeling was accurate, and it's just like, it showed me that what I already knew inside about dealing with a specific type of person, it showed me this is exactly what it's going to be. If he doesn't like something, he's going to nitpick, and I wish I tried to just let it go, but I wish that I could really, really go into detail more about just the way that he was, as far as, okay, yeah, but I'm just saying. And it's like, you don't have to keep on saying the same thing over and over again. Like, it's not necessary. And I'm trying to be calm and I'm trying to be patient, but then I just like kind of started to get loud and go off on him. And I'm just like, you know what? And he's like, it's cool. And I guess, we can try to find some type of way. But I just felt like I needed to say, oh, now you feel like you need to fucking say something. But you didn't have shit to say the whole fucking week, when I'm sitting up here wondering, is he going to text me? Or is he not? Oh, I felt like I just wanted to like give you some space. Well, you know what? You can keep on giving me space. And at this point now, I'm just feeling like I'm not even going to bother hitting him back up. I might even fucking block his ass, because he's unhealed. And, oh God, I don't want to say this in a way where it just sounds so fucking bad. But the work that I'm trying to do on myself with my crystals, with my mantras, I'm not stepping into energy where I'm going backwards. And you know, when you deal with somebody and you have done the work for yourself and you see where somebody else is, and that's energy that you dealt with in the past, where somebody can't even accept the fact that you are taking accountability for your shit, but they're still trying to like throw you, throw mud on you and make you feel bad about some bullshit. And it's like, nigga, can you not accept an apology? Or just the fact that I'm really trying to be real with you, but you ain't really got anything of anything of real substance to say. And the thing is that really frustrates me is when it comes to dealing with someone in a whole, which is what my moonstone was really amplifying. I've been doing the shadow work on myself and dealing with all those letting go of certain things, not settling for certain behaviors. Even when it comes to myself and being real and like really taking a look at myself. And these things have been helping. My crystals, I try to shut down. My rhodonite, all these things have really been helping me. And this is what I'm saying. I'm like so super aware of my feelings. And even before I got on the phone with him, I already felt it's going to be something. And I'm not going to like it. And sure enough, it was something. And I was just like, this nigga really didn't have a real valid reason to call me and talk about some bullshit. Like, he said, okay, I understand what you're saying, but then you still want to continue to go in on how you wanted to so-called make sure that I understood where you were coming from. You just trying to find some kind of reason to make yourself look big because you didn't have any kind of valid reason earlier. Like, there's too many ways that I feel like I would have to do things to help build up his confidence in himself. And I'm just not here for it. I'm not. This video is on some real bullshit. But again, if you're wearing these and you understand what these crystals are for, you need to really pay attention to the conversations that you have, the things that you feel, the work that you're doing with yourself to understand these carry real energy. I don't know if I really expressed everything that I need to express in this video, but I don't care. God damn it. Peace, y'all. Good night.